Hello there, this is Mara with Music Oregon and Music Portland, and I'm going to do a quick walkthrough and show you how to fill out Oregon's first commercial music census if you are an artist and no other kind of music business. It takes less than 5 minutes. It is 100% anonymous. This census never asks you who you are. It doesn't ask you to validate anything about your identity. We do ask that you be truthful and comprehensive because there's no reason not to. So let's get started. How are you involved? Are you a musical artist? Do you earn any income, reported or otherwise, for music you compose, record, or perform? You say yes to that. Then when it asks if you're a business doing anything that supports commercial music, in this case, we're going to say no. Tell us about your work as an artist. We want to know if you're going to answer just about yourself and the income that you draw from your musical endeavors, or whether you'll answer on behalf of your entire band. And in some cases, bands operate as a business, so you can answer either way. I'm going to say I'm going to answer for myself. It gives a little bit of additional information to help you out. Did you or your band generate revenue, any revenue from 2019 through the present? So we're looking before COVID and since COVID. You're going to say yes, and please estimate your gross personal income. If you'd answered for the band, this would be asking for your band income. So you might say, great, in 2019, the last full year before COVID, I made this much money. And you might say, great, and my estimated gross for this year is going to be a little bit less, and that's not going to be surprising. Giving those ranges just gives us so much information to work with. Estimate the percentage of your total revenue that was earned outside of Oregon. So that's for online music sales, streaming, and out-of-state income. And a lot of people, touring is a big part of what they make their money doing. So there's 60, I put in 60 for 60% there. Take a note on this prior question too, that we want everything, all income, performance, sales, streaming, licensing, merch, royalties, everything that you do gross before expenses. Check where you've performed professionally. You performed in Oregon. I've done some other states. Maybe you've gone international, which is great. When you click other states, it opens up an additional question that asks you about where you have performed in the Cascadia region. We are working to increase effective touring within our own region, which includes Alaska, British Columbia, Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. So it'll help us to know a little bit more about how you've performed within that region specifically. And then excluding COVID relief programs, have you received any grants between 2019 and the present? If you say no, you move on. If you say yes, it's going to ask you a little bit about those grants. What percentage of your total music income do these grants represent? Say maybe 20%, and share the sources of your successful grant funding. And you can say RAC or whatever the source was. What's the likelihood, these are just some qualitative questions, of suspending your professional music endeavors altogether? And you can say moderately possible, I'm tired. Or what's the likelihood of you moving within Oregon to another place to further your career, or leaving Oregon to further your music career? You know, you might say, yeah, that's a good possibility. We want you to be honest. Please tell us. And again, notice we don't know who you are at this point. We're now going to ask you about yourself, and that's only demographic questions. And all of the data that we collect, we never look at any individual data alone. Everything is combined into a complete aggregate that tells our collective story. So say that I'm 30 years old, I wish, and there's my nationality, or I prefer to self-describe or prefer not to say, but it does help us. What's your home zip code? You put in a zip code. And is there anything else you think we should know? I'm going to put in 0000 so I know to remove it from my data, because this is my fake answer. Is there anything else you think we should know about your experience or challenges? If there's any note you'd like in there, that's great. Please remember to hit submit. Submit is really important. And I think some people get to the end and they're like, cool, I'm done. And they walk away. We need you to hit the submit button. And then all it does is say thank you. And it lets you know that you can share it, tell people about it, get the word out. If you have any questions about the organizations that are running this program, please check us out on the bottom. But all of this, as you saw, even with me talking, took you less than 5 minutes. Take a minute and then tell everybody you know to do the same thing. If we have a lackluster response to this census, that will be how the state sees us for decades to come. So this is a real moment. It is not just good things will happen if we have comprehensive data. Bad things will happen if we don't. So please take a minute, join with us, and then spread the word. Appreciate your time. Talk to you soon.